did a review. The last one was a disaster. And then I promised my viewers another one, but never got around to it because I was so crushed by the failure. Oh, what's this? Check out your door. Check out my door. What? What do we have here? Oh, what's this? Well then, let's do this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a while since we did a review. And it was because I had made a Death from Above 1979 review, and it failed. And I hate failure. I put hours into that review for it to just fail on me. And I know I had promised you guys to do Deep Valley, but also things got into the way. But don't worry, Deep Valley is on the way. But today, on a recommendation from a dear friend, and the dear friend who is actually going to help me with this review, it's the one and only Miss Meow. Miss Meow? Miss Meow?
Huh? What? Review. Oh yeah, that.
Did you get into the catnip again?
I do what I want.
True. Well, aren't you going to introduce the band?
Oh yeah. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Miss Meow. And today we are going to talk about the hush sound.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Hush Sound. That's right. The Hush Sound is a band from Chicago, Illinois. Believe it or not, their formation was in 2004. They have 3 albums: So Sudden, Like Fine, and Goodbye Blues. The members are Bob Morris, Greta Speckler, I can't pronounce that name. If I butcher it, I am so sorry, Greta, if you ever watch this, Darren Wilson, and Chris Fowler. Now, the band was formed when Greta met Bob in high school. Greta was a 7th grader. She was one of those concert pianists who, multi-art type piano player. And then Bob was 10th grade, and he was one of those classic, oh yeah, I'm a rock and roller because I play guitar type dude, I can relate. And so they decided to get together and they started writing music. And they started performing in parks. And they realized that they wanted to be a full band, and so they added in the bass player and the drummer, and thus the whole band was formed, the Hush Sound. Now, they originally wanted to be the Hush, but there was a rapper who had already had that name, so they decided to add the sound in, and that is why, hence, their name, Hush Sound. They have their first album, which is the one I'm going to talk to you guys about, So Sudden. But now I see that the shadows get me there from the light that calls my name. All the creatures stood above me. Now I'm crawling towards the sun. Is a very good album, believe it or not. It's very interesting how the name came about. When the Hush Sound was first, put together, they were writing songs that they thought were worthy enough for the public, for the world to view. There were, which ended up being the songs on this album. They were, playing around their area. They're playing online until Ryan Ross, formerly of Panic at the Disco, caught on to one of their performances on one of those podcasts, Dealy Bobbers, and liked what they did. And so, the Hush Sound had originally produced So Sudden, which, by the way, was ironically named because of how fast the album grew and how fast the popularity of the band did, they sold 300 copies within 2 nights after independently releasing this. But when Ryan Ross of forming the Panic at the Disco caught on to them, they re-released So Sudden, but DK Dance Records. And so that's how they ended up getting their success. They ended up, that was their pretty much silver lining. They've also worked with Pete Wentz of Fall Out Boy too. That also helped with their success. And before I move on to any others, I would like to discuss about So Sudden. So Sudden happens to be, I'm a sucker for when it comes to first albums. I don't know why, but for me, it's like they aren't trying to prove themselves. They're just being who they are, and I really like So Sudden. I mean, I love the opening track, City Traffic Puzzle, which was great, like this classic Western like piano and this cool rocking guitar, and then there's a really sick bass solo near the end of it. And I like the lyrics. I like, and then it just keeps going on from beginning to end. It's actually a really solid album. So I like So Sudden, believe it or not. It's a great album. So I will now let Miss Meow talk about the second album.
The Like Vines was originally released in June of 2006. It has sold over 50,000 albums since then. I find the album to be like a warm cup of tea to enjoy on a summer evening. It has been pleasant to listen to, for each song having its own unique and different taste.
Who shot that arrow in your throat? Who missed the crimson apple? It hung heavy on the tree above your head. This chaos, this calamity, this garden once was perfect. Give your immortality to me. I'll set you up against the stars.
Even more so, I find that this album to be very mellow, seeing as how it has its own pace, to which I love so much.
Sweet tangerine, will you please come back to me? 'Cause I don't think that these feelings are gonna leave.
This is actually one of the first Hush Sound albums that I have listened to. Overall, I highly recommend it to those who have never listened to them. I think there's enough diversity to it that everyone would enjoy.
Now the third album is Goodbye Blues. Again, it's a very nice, solid album. I love how the Hush sound adds together the piano and the guitar, and then you got the other two in, and I love the album. It's a great album. There's Medicine Man. I just like the album. It's a very solid album. It's actually, in my opinion, out of all three albums, like So Sudden is a good album, Like Vine's a good album, but Goodbye Blues is, I think, I will say their best work in my opinion. I really liked Goodbye Blues, but after Goodbye Blues, Hush Sound decided to take a hiatus. They're currently on hiatus right now. There are speculations online that they're performing. They're performing still, but they're still on hiatus. No news that I know of by looking them up if they have or are coming out with a new album or not. But I will tell you this though, ladies and gentlemen, the Hush Sound does deserve a little bit more attention. I mean, they did get their lucky break. I mean, they did work with the likes of Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy are clung to them, so they did get somewhat, they got their somewhat success. But I do believe, most of these bands that I review on the show, I do believe they deserve more than they are. But if I were you, I'd give the Hush Sound a good listening to. I would rate this band as a really good band. Give it double thumbs up. They're a great band. I want to thank Miss Meow for actually introducing me to this band and suggesting that I do this band. By the way.
Oh, and there's one last sweet thing.
There's a compilation album that Greta sings in, with other various artists under the name Forgive Durden. The album itself is called Frost's Shadow, and it is a masterpiece. The orchestra and singers go beautifully hand in hand, as it tells a story in each of its songs, a must to listen to for all fans.
Miss Meow, thank you so much for being a part of this review. I'm glad that you guys are watching this. I hope that you found this very interesting, and as I said, give Hush Sound a listening to. I'd advise you to actually listen to all their albums, because I mean, So Sudden, like Reveiw, and Goodbye Blues, they're all solid albums, all three of them. And so yeah, look up the Hush Sound. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the review, or for watching this review, I should say. I hope you enjoy the Hush Sound. If you have any bands that are underground that you would like to see me review, please leave down in the comments what you think I should do next. I would really like it if you tell me, hey, do this band, I'll do it for you. Either way, with that said, we'll all see you in the next video, and so long, and thanks for all the fish.
I appreciate you having me on to do this review with you. So thank you. And I'm part of Perfect Gamers, so we have a channel in itself. We typically don't do music reviews like this. We do a lot of horror games, but you can go see it for yourself if you want. But yeah, see you alley cats later.